I don't know anyone who thinks that tea bags are a problem. I think tea bags are good. They're more convenient than loose-leaf tea, but for some reason, some people have decided that the humble tea bag is a problem that needs solving. And I don't mean with things like that, the round tea bag or the pyramid tea bag. That's all just marketing and flim-flam. I'm talking about this. No more tea bags. If you've not seen it, I've got some with me here. I've got some no more tea bags. This is a spray can. This is a spray can of a pre-brewed tea that you add to hot water. What is the point of this? Is that really an improvement? I mean, I like the fact that it floats. That's good. I like that. I do. And it does float. It does. Ooh. Ooh. But apart from that, it's not got a lot going for it. I don't think it's going to replace the tea bag, is it? Not really. As much as anything, because it wasn't predicted in the Usborne Book of the Future, so it's not going to take off, I know that. This was published in 1979, and as a kid, it was one of my favourite books. This is science fact, not science fiction. As an 8-year-old, I loved this. The gist of it was that things were going to be much more efficient in the future, not like the messy 70s with its flared trousers, its beards and its libraries. They got a lot of things right. I mean, just look at this. That is a man wearing his Beats by Dre headphones, watching football on his enormous flat-screen TV while wearing a onesie. That is definitely happening somewhere in Britain right now, and you know it is. They really did get a lot of things right. In the 70s, we thought we would have computer watches by now, and you know what? We have. Yeah, they got a few things wrong as well, though. They predicted hover cars. We don't have those yet. I don't know why. I mean, we've got hover tea. I don't know why. We've got the technology. I suppose we do have hoverboards, don't we? But they don't actually hover, do they? That's just a name. What do hoverboards do? Yeah, exactly. They spontaneously combust, absolutely. Yeah. Of course, one thing that everyone in the 70s predicted for the 21st century, of course, we all remember as kids thinking about this, we all predicted space battles powered by spoon benders, didn't we? That was a big thing. You remember that? Space battles powered by... It was in the book, it was in the book. Look at that. In this picture, a Star War, singular, is being fought with a ship crewed by ESP sensitives. Mind power communicates with the distant star-based machines and weapons are thought-controlled. Like the spoon benders of today. He may have the power to distort metal in the enemy craft and destroy their weapons, like the spoon benders of today. You can't have a plural spoon benders and a singular Star War. There's only ever been one famous spoon bender. He's the spoon bender of yesterday, today and tomorrow. His name is Uri Geller, although they spelt his name wrong in the book. Of course, one thing that was always being predicted by everyone was space food. The idea that you get a whole meal in a pill. As a kid, I remember thinking that seemed like a good idea, but then as a kid, I didn't want to come out of the garden and go in to eat. I wanted to carry on playing. As a grown-up, you realise that eating is one of life's pleasures. Replacing an enjoyable meal with a pill isn't improving life, is it? We do two things in life. We work and we have fun. If you make the having fun part of life shorter, all that will happen is they'll make the doing work part longer. And yet I think space food has actually arrived. It's not in pill form, but it is here, and it is called Huel. It looks a bit clinical, doesn't it? That looks more like a bag of syringes than a snack. But it bills itself as the nutritionally complete human food. Why have they put the word human on that? We're the only species that can read, for crying out loud. You only have to call it food if it's for us. Calling it human food makes it feel like it's some kind of pet food that our new alien overlords have developed to keep our coats shining. I've got some of it here. I've brought some with me, in case anyone thinks, look at that. That's food, apparently. It looks like a packed lunch from NASA, doesn't it? What is it? Well, there's an FAQ that explains exactly what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Huel is supplied as a dry, microfine powder. There's another word for dry, microfine powder, isn't there? It's powder. That's what a powder is. That's why you don't get big, fat, wet powder. What does Huel taste like? Huel has been optimised for nutrition rather than flavour. It's encouraging, isn't it, when you're thinking of buying some? This is intentional, so it's not so delicious you'd want to consume too much. Blimey, finally, somebody in the food market who's looking after that making it nice to eat crap. Getting rid of that. No, let's just have a bland, flavourless, microfine, dry powder. That's what we're after. And incidentally, Huel is generally best enjoyed cold. Mmm. Ambassador, you're spoiling us. With your cold, flavourless porridge made of dust. Is Huel low FODMAP? No, that's low FODMAP. Can't afford any shoes, the king. Of course he's low. Of course he's low. I don't know if you're getting the same vibe. It all feels a little bit like a cult to me, this Huel stuff. I mean, a normal health food shouldn't have to have a question like this on its FAQ. How do you explain Huel to your friends and family? I don't think Pot Noodle have got that on their FAQs, have they? But I think maybe the Scientologists should have. It's a hassle-free, affordable, balanced diet, is the answer. Yes, hassle-free, unless you count having to explain it to your family as a hassle. There are other explanations for how to explain it to your family. One option you could say, how about human fuel? That's where we got the name from, human fuel. I get it now, you see. Human fuel becomes Huel, yeah? These people, they really are an absolute bunch of hunts, they really are. They really are a huge, real bunch of... well, they're huge talents, aren't they? They're huge. Did you think I meant something else? You thought I meant didn't you? You guys. Oh, really? Does Huel fill you up, they say? Well, basically, it is about 40% oats. Because it's mainly oats, it can therefore help lead to a feeling of fullness. Not yet it fills you up, but it can help lead to a feeling of fullness. Well, yes, I suppose cold, flavourless porridge and dust can do that. That's absolutely true. Read some of our customer testimonials to see them agree. If you do that, you will find things like this. It works for me. It's convenient. Mostly, mixing requires a certain type of shaker or a blender. Filling, fair enough. Allergen-free, I can't have dairy or wheat. And means I spend less money on food. And let's be fair, there are people out there on a tight budget and don't necessarily have access to good food. I am a waiter. They're a waiter! A waiter who doesn't have access to food. And it's great to have on my break or quickly mid-shift so I'm not starving when I come out of work and eat crap. Where the hell are you waiting tables, mate? Because I'm not coming. Oh, excuse me, is there anything you could recommend? Absolutely fuck all. But you don't have to settle for written testimonials. There are video testimonials too. If Huel wasn't seeming culty before this, I think when you see some of the videos, you're going to feel the cult vibe coming through. Let's start by meeting Albert.
My name is Albert. I work in business development, but I'm also a keen adventurer and running enthusiast, and I work and live in London.
OK, and what does Albert make of Huel?
I've been using Huel for 8 months now.
Oh, been using Huel for 8 months now. That's an interesting use of language, isn't it? Using. He's a Huel user, a Huser, if you like. He's not eating it or consuming it. He's not imbibing it or drinking it. He's just using it. And you wouldn't say that about a milkshake, would you? I've been using milkshake. You wouldn't say that about Weetabix, would you? I'm going to use some Weetabix tomorrow morning. You don't say that. What would you say it about? Heroin? We also have Paul, who, as you can see, is a personal trainer. And for him, Huel is a complete food replacement.
I would describe Huel as a complete food replacement.
You see, I told you, a complete food replacement. Do you know who I feel sorry for here? It's his oven. That is an oven that knows it's never going to fulfil its ovenly destiny, isn't it? He's just basically got an expensive clock in his kitchen now. Of course, it's not just fitness freaks. There is also a guy called Ferras, who is an architect.
I'm an architect in London, and as soon as I get into the office, there's all sorts of emails that I have to catch up with and meetings that I have to arrange.
Yeah, make one of them a lunch meeting, you dick. Do yourself a favour. They're not a fun bunch, this lot, are they? I reckon I've had more fun this week than they've had hot dinners. We all have. We all have. The full video here is about 4 minutes long. But here are a few of my favourite sound bites. Just see if these people sound remotely brainwashed to you.
I absolutely love the product.
It's like all of the thinking has been done.
It's added time to my day.
There seems to be a community around it.
I am part of the Huel community.
I really enjoy using it.
Saves you from having to think too much
I
about
like that it's a tribe.
food. It's like,
It's a great movement. This is
if not something that's positive for the planet.
Do you see what I mean? This is like the end of times. My favourite line in this has got to be this.
It saves you from having to think too much about food.
It saves you from having to think too much about food. I bet you bloody do, though, don't you? I bet you think about food all the time. I know I would if I was living on a cold, tasteless, microfine, dry powder porridge. There is a place in this world for Huel, but its place is surely a submarine or a space station or in the third world where food is scarce, because food is nice and enjoying food is human. Cutting out something nice so that you have more time for meetings is not winning at life. But by selling it like that, you just know that we are one step away from an austerity government proposing we give out Huel instead of unemployment benefit. It's cheap, it's good for them, it will give them more time to look for a job. This is just a modern-day version of gruel, and these idiot hipsters have fallen for it. In fact, that's what this really is, isn't it? It's not human fuel at all, is it? This is hipster bloody gruel, that's what this is. Now, I'll be honest. I don't know what annoys me more, Huel or spray tea. I know which one has annoyed the internet more. As you'd expect, the whole spray tea thing generated a lot of headlines in this tea-loving country of ours. And you know me, ladies and gentlemen. I can't resist it when people are getting all worked up about things that don't really matter. I'm drawn inexorably to the bottom half of the internet where the outrage brews. I've read every single comment from every single person I could find on this particular subject. I've collected all of my favourites and brought them together to make something more beautiful, something that I like to call a found poem, that I would like to perform for you now. Wow. Just wow. 2016 just keeps on getting worse, doesn't it? Chris on a bike. Is nothing sacred? This product baffles me. I am literally baffled by it. I don't understand why a honking great aerosol can is better than a nice little tea bag. Baffling. Guys, I think this is basically like a tea cordial, but completely disgusting. No. What's next? Spray coffee? Spray hot chocolate? Spray gravy? No. $4.95 for a can, and it only makes 20 cups? That's about 24.75p per cup. I buy 80 normal tea bags for £1. That's about 1.25p per cup. You do the math. Why are you telling us to do the math? Amatics. You've just done the math. Amatics. You worked it out. You told us that it's 23.5p more expensive per cup. You literally did the math. Spray gravy? Yes, please. Why were scientists even thinking about this? There are only 4 things science should address: medicine, the environment, space travel, and weaponry. Not, I repeat, not spray tea. If this is supposed to be more convenient, it isn't. Can you take a tea bag on a plane? Yes. Can you take an aerosol on a plane? No. Why do you take tea bags on a plane? I don't. That's not my point. They have invented a product that can't be taken on a plane. That is my point. This stuff sounds revolting. But if they call it squirty, I'll probably give it a go. I think so.